Is encumbrance weighing you down? Find out how to fix that next in your game. Coming up next. Hey folks, EvilDM here, and I'm back again for another sage advice this week. And hope you're doing well out there, YouTube. If you've not, your first time watching this video, welcome. If you're a continued subscriber, I thank you for coming back and watching this video and listening to me ramble on things you could do to improve your game or not improve your game. But today we're going to talk a little bit about encumbrance in your game. There's a method of encumbrance that I use in my games, whether it's first edition or fifth or third or even basic D&D. I use this thing called slots. And I think in your game, the slots actually just are for people who don't really care about encumbrance, or DMs are not really worried about it, but they want something to easily keep track of it a little bit more. So what I've come up with, and I've seen a bunch of other people do this in the past too, but I use my method because that's just how I am. I mean, not saying anyone else's method is wrong. Everyone has their method. But here's a method you can look at and probably incorporate a piece of it, all of it, or none of it, depending on what you think. So you have a number of slots equal to your strength. So if you have a 14 strength, you can carry 14 items or containers. So we should say you have 14 slots. If you carry more than that, your strength allows your movement is gone to half and you start tiring quickly, needing more frequent breaks. The maximum amount you can hold without any means is double your strength score, at which point you're pretty much crawling along and barely can move. Now, each slot can be filled by one or more items. If you carry more items than you have slots, your movement is reduced, obviously. Some items do take up multiple slots, such as an armor, or other items take up little to no room at all. So it breaks down into small, medium, and large items. A small item would be something like a dagger or a potion bottle. So 4 of those would equal 1 slot, because they're small enough to fit into one little slot inside your whatever you're carrying. Medium items, 2 of them equals 1 slot, and that could be anything from a sword to a really long dirk or something like that. And a large item obviously be something like, a bedroll or an armor. So there's also another thing with armor, which I'll get to in a moment. Larger items do take up more space, obviously, such as a 2-handed sword. So that would continue to be 1 large item, so that's 1 large slot. Now, armor is based off of the protection value it gives you. So I have a chart to show if it's 2 or less points, it basically doesn't count. It doesn't count as any slots at all. If it's 3 to 5, it counts as 1 slot. If the bonus gives you 6 to 8, it's 2 slots. If it's 9 or more bonus, it counts as 3 inventory slots. Chances are you'll probably never get that high in game, and if you do, wow. But so I've also decided that small items, the first slot is free. So if you get 5 daggers, the first dagger is a free slot. The rest of the 4 will fit into a container nicely as 1. Is it a good idea? I'm not sure. Some people do like that idea. Also, you can have containers to hold other things, such as a quiver of arrows. That 1 quiver of arrow container would only be 1 slot, and you're allowed to carry that with no issues and not have to worry about counting 20 arrows as 20 items or something, or grouping it every 4 if you want to hold it in your hand or something. We also came up with a method for gold coins or coins. Mostly in my games, I don't use the smaller denominations of coins because most of the time my players just don't care about them. And while that is not true for every game, we've decided that a coin is a coin. And if a character is carrying 100 gold pieces or 100 coins, that's going to count as a slot. So if he's carrying 500 coins, it's 5 inventory slots. Now you can get certain things like backpacks that'll add 2 more slots. So you can add that. The backpack would be free. The 2 slots gets added on to you. So if you have 14, you now have a 16. Also, you can get a pouch, which would be an extra slot or 2, depending on your DM. You can get a bag to put on your belt, and that'll be 2 more slots. Things like that can always improve, and there's ways around the system and work with the your DM, depending on your game. My games, I really don't care about encumbrance because it's just, unless the player is like, yeah, I collect this, I collect that, I collect this, I collect that, and then it's like, all right, well, what do you got on your list? Let me look, and it starts to become, no, you can't carry this, or like, there's a treasure chest in the room. I stuffed thousands of pieces of gold in my backpack. Yeah, no, you don't. It doesn't work that way. This is kind of an easy method, a stepping stone for you to rework your encumbrance in your game, and hopefully just be worry-free about it, and it makes it easier for the players, not having to add up little weights here and there and stuff like that, and makes it simple. Hopefully that worked for you, and hopefully it will work for you, I should say. If not, sorry. But just leave a comment, a like, and let me know what you do for encumbrance in your game, and we can discuss it. Thanks. Good night.